The Denver Broncos have a major problem that we're going to try to get to the bottom, at least identify the problem, because isn't that the first step in solving any issue, is identifying what the issue is? Welcome in the Broncos country to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. I'm going to tell you what those problems are right now for the Broncos, and yes, they are entirely on the offensive side of the football, because today's show, I'm going to tell you about the Broncos' serious problem that they must fix if they want to make the playoffs. In fact, I have three main areas of concern right now. One has to do with the offense as a whole, one has to do with the quarterback, and one has to do with the head coach in that order. And this is why you hit subscribe. If you want free, honest analysis of the Denver Broncos, that doesn't always mean that I'm not going to give you my emotion and my views as a fan. But if you want free and honest analysis of your favorite team, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. All right, let's start. Let's start with the first overall problem with the Broncos. They are averaging 8 penalties a game, which is about 9th right now in the NFL. There's a bunch of teams that are tied with 24 penalties per game, 24 total penalties. But here's where the biggest issue hurts. Is that it's not just the penalties, it's the penalty yards against the Broncos, which is even worse of a statistic. They have 218 penalty yards against them. That's tied for 4th worst in the NFL. And if you break that down from a yards per game perspective, that means 70 yards per game, over 70 yards per game. You're getting hurt on just penalty yards alone. So if you started your drive at the 30-yard line, if there was a touchback, that means every single game you're giving up a touchdown worth of yards in penalties. Just think about that for a second. Also think about this. The company that you keep with that statistic is not good also. The Jacksonville Jaguars, granted, are 2-1, have 218 yards against. They're not a button-up team, but they've got a brand new head coach. The Chicago Bears, they're not a buttoned-up team, but they've got a new head coach. The Denver Broncos are not a buttoned-up team, but they don't have a new head coach. It's just undisciplined. That's all it is. Penalties are a reflection of an undisciplined team, and that starts by having better practice habits. But at practice, all we hear about every single day is the Dre Greenlaw injury. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? And then we're told how great the offense looks, how back on track they look. And yet every single game, we shoot ourselves in the foot with constant penalties. So something has to change. Either one, Sean Payton, you've got to take a more direct approach in the day-to-day operations of your practice habits, or you have to give that responsibility up to somebody that will prioritize it. Maybe that's Joe Lombardi. Maybe that's Davis Webb. I don't care who it is. Somebody's got to figure it out. And speaking of figuring it out, let's talk about the quarterback. Because Bo, in 3 games, if you had to give him a full overarching takeaway, it hasn't been good. And I think yesterday was the perfect encapsulation of how everybody feels about Bo Nix this season, which is you have opportunities to win football games, and you're not getting it done. So let's talk about the eye test. First of all, Bo still isn't setting his feet in the pocket. He either drops back and throws off of his 3-step drop, literally as soon as he hits that back foot, we'll just chuck it. Or he's not setting his feet in the pocket when he does hit his 3-step drop, climbing up the pocket, etc. He'll just take off and scramble outside and try to throw off his, that off-platform throw. He's not clutch on 3rd down, as evidenced by yesterday. The Broncos were 2 of 12 on 3rd downs. Throws off his back foot, like I said, and he's still trying to play hero ball. He's still trying to take the unnecessary shot downfield. He's still trying to make these off-platform throws. He's still trying to dance around inside of the pocket or flush himself outside to make it look like a highlight throw. He's trying to be, in my opinion, another quarterback that plays in the AFC West, a younger version of Patrick Mahomes. And until you can show me that you can play like Mahomes, which is that off-platform hero-type ball, stop trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. Because right now, you're not even playing like Bo Nix. And if you want evidence as to why Bo isn't even playing like Bo, just take a look at his passing chart from yesterday. There's a lot of green behind that line of scrimmage, folks. And then there's a lot of green as well between the line of scrimmage and 10 yards. But notice something. Bo's accuracy past 10 yards drops off drastically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 throws roughly over 10 yards. And he completed 2 of them. I mean, talk about your dink and dunk offense. I used to say that the check down was a quarterback's best friend, but right now, that looks like all Bo can do. And if we're talking about the advanced analytics of Bo as a quarterback, he's got 6 turnover-worthy plays. That's 2 per game. That's 40th out of 32 qualifying quarterbacks. And you're probably wondering, how do you have a 40th out of 32? Oh, because the backups that also have gotten in to play have also had better or less turnover-worthy plays than Bo has. His PFF passing grade is 47.3, which is 41st out of 43 qualifying quarterbacks. And his big-time throws, 3, 1 per game, and that ranks 22nd in the NFL. So you tell me, for a quarterback right now that isn't managing the game properly, is missing wide-open throws, I mean, literally 3 of them yesterday, 2 of them for a touchdown. Marvin Mims, flea flicker. Down the right-hand side, could have walked into the end zone. Overthrow. Deep post to Marvin Mims in the end zone. Overthrow. And then the last drive, for the Broncos offense on 3rd and 10, rather than trying to take the easy yardage, complete a 12-yard out or a 12-yard slant or a 12-yard seam, Bo tries to be a hero, throws a 50-yard bomb to Courtland Sutton, and guess what? Overthrows him. Which leads me to believe that right now my confidence level in Bo Nix is like a 4. I don't know what it's going to take for Bo to just play like Bo. Hit your back foot. Go through your progressions. Make your read. Deliver an on-time and accurate throw. He did it against the Indianapolis Colts. He did, and that's why he threw 3 first-half touchdowns. But it's like as soon as he gets up against a better defense like the Titans clearly have, or a good team like the Chargers clearly are, Bo Nix tries to do too much. So let me know in the comment section down below. Coming up, I'm going to tell you why Sean Payton needs to be better, because I did tell you that ultimately a good chunk of this, a good portion of this is on Sean Payton as well. Before I do that, I'm going to tell you about our friends from Prize Picks. Today's presenting sponsor is Prize Picks, and you and I make decisions every single day. But on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Simple to play. Pick 2 to 6 players and their stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You take the more or less on those players, by the way, and you can join millions of users and sign up today. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season and sports in general all season long. If you do want an accurate depiction on how to play it, you take that player, you pick the more or the less, and then you can watch your money multiply, winning up to 2,000 times your money this season on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I think all Broncos fans want to know, why on earth didn't you go for it on that last 4th down? Bo Nix scrambles out on a 3rd, and I believe it was 14, gains 13 yards, 13 and a half almost. You've got about a half a yard to go, and Sean Payton elects to punt the football. I was questioning it in the moment, but of course I've got to call the entirety of the game, so I don't have time to sit here and dwell on every single play that happens. But I did go back and start to think about it after the game was done, and I was like, why didn't Payton go for it? And I think Zach Stevens asked him about why he didn't go for it, and Payton said this at his post-game press conference: because field position mattered in this game. You do know who you were playing, right? Justin Herbert, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the game, who also cares about field position. And I know there's a lot of Broncos fans and Chargers fans that got into the comments of my last reaction video, and they were like, how could you think the Broncos outplayed the Chargers? Like this. There were so many areas the Broncos were better than the Chargers yesterday. Fourth down efficiency, 2 for 2 for the Chargers, nothing for nothing. Okay, the Chargers didn't go for it on fourth. That's fine. Rushing yards per carry, the Broncos, 5.6. Chargers, 3.8. Meaning, they don't have a run game. You had one person to stop. You sacked Justin Herbert 5 times to their 2. Your pass rush was better. They had 2 turnovers. Broncos had none. So you played a cleaner football game. An average yards per play, the Denver Broncos, 5.5. The Chargers, 4.7. Ultimate translation, you cannot give good teams a chance to win football games. And that's what you did, Sean Payton. And I get it. The ball's on what, the 33-yard line? Your own 33-yard line. If you don't get it, you give the Chargers really good field position. It's half a yard. In a close game where ball possession matters, where driving down the field to take the lead with as little time on the clock left for a talented quarterback on the other side, that matters. And you chose to give it away. And I get it. You trust your defense. But the defense can't do amazing things, drive in and drive out. You're going up against a very talented football team. They will move the ball. I think also, before I end today's show, another very sad stat for you. The Denver Broncos have 9 total fourth quarter points in 2025. There have been 3 fourth quarters the Broncos have played. They're averaging a field goal per quarter. If you want an overarching view of how bad that is, the Broncos have lost 2 games back-to-back on last-minute field goals. If you get even one more field goal per score or per quarter, you are automatically in overtime, and then who knows what happens. 1 touchdown, game over. Broncos should be 3-0, but they shoot themselves in the foot. And Sean Payton has to be better. And he's got to be better quick because the next 4 weeks are favorable for the Broncos. You got the Bengals with no Joe Burrow, a very tough matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles in week 5, but then you've got the Jets, a much inferior team on paper, and the Giants, who are a dumpster fire. If you don't go 3-1 in these next 4 games, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye. You have to go minimum 3-1. If you go 2-2, good luck, because the Chiefs are going to get better. The Chargers look like they have a firm grasp on this division, and who knows what the Raiders are. So if you think the Broncos will go 3-1, type yes. If you think they won't, type no. And then let me know, of course, in the comment section down below what you believe they will do. That's going to do it for us, Mile High. I'm going to come back later with another deep dive analysis into the Broncos' loss, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about some other rumors and stuff, because clearly right now, Dre Greenlaw not being on the field is definite hurt for the Denver Broncos. But we'll figure it out, and I'll give you a video later on today. A Mile High salute, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and be cool.